The Earth of the future is unrecognizable. Towering skyscrapers of gleaming chrome and glass rise like titans, stretching toward the sky, their peaks lost in the clouds. Below, vibrant cities hum with life, human and alien alike, sharing the bustling streets and marketplaces. The air is alive with the hum of advanced technology as ships from countless worlds dock and take off, bringing new ideas, trade, and knowledge. The Earth we once knew, isolated in the cosmos, is now a central hub of diplomacy, a beacon of human ingenuity and resilience. In this grand city, humans have proven they can adapt and thrive, standing shoulder to shoulder with alien species. Hovercrafts zip past, their sleek frames reflecting the multicolored lights of towering advertisements. Alien languages blend with human voices in the cacophony, but a common thread unites them, a shared desire for progress, survival, and discovery. Humanity's creativity has forged alliances, built cities, and formed the foundation of this galactic nexus. No longer an outlier, Earth has become a respected and necessary player in the vast cosmic order. But as this new era dawns, humanity's place in the universe is about to be tested. Lena Carter, a leading biologist at the forefront of human scientific exploration, stands in her lab studying samples from distant worlds. Her dark hair is pulled back into a tight ponytail, and her eyes, sharp and focused, scan the data projected in front of her. Lena is driven by an insatiable curiosity, a thirst for knowledge that has led her to a prestigious position among the galaxy's best minds. Her passion for biology has shaped her life, and now she's preparing to embark on a mission that could redefine humanity's understanding of life itself. Lena is a symbol of humanity's resilience. Her work has brought her into contact with alien species, each more fascinating than the last. Yet the upcoming mission promises something different, a deeper dive into the unknown, where her expertise will be tested against the limits of human understanding. Her resolve is unwavering, her brilliance undeniable. Lena knows this is her moment, an opportunity to prove that humanity's capacity for adaptation and survival extends beyond Earth, into the very heart of the galaxy. Standing across from Lena is Zyra Kiptal, an alien scientist from the Arathar species. Zyra's glowing blue skin shimmers in the dim light of the lab, and her forearms, each a different length, move with fluid grace as she works. The Arathar are known throughout the galaxy for their unmatched technological advancements and their deep understanding of biological systems. Zyra's unique perspective on life, one that is vastly different from Lena's, provides a powerful partnership, one that merges human curiosity with alien intellect. Zyra and Lena share a bond rooted in mutual respect, though their differences are vast. Zyra's mind doesn't see biology the way humans do. To her, the human form is a puzzle to be solved, a fascinating anomaly in the natural world. Lena, on the other hand, views biology through a lens shaped by centuries of human evolution and struggle. Their partnership is both a collaboration and a confrontation of ideas, each teaching the other more about their respective worlds. It is a delicate dance of learning and discovery, but as they dive deeper into the study of human biology, the stakes grow higher and the tension between them builds. The research team, a mixture of humans and aliens, boards their intergalactic vessel, prepared for the long voyage ahead. For months, they travel from one star system to the next, collecting data on alien species, strange creatures with forms that challenge the very definition of life. Each encounter is a new revelation, a fresh chapter in the ever-expanding story of the universe. Lena and Zyra work side by side, marveling at the diversity of life they encounter, but it is their analysis of human biology that will soon take an unexpected turn. Lena is eager, her mind racing with anticipation. This is the pinnacle of her career, a mission that could elevate her name among the stars. But as they gather more data, Lena begins to notice strange patterns emerging. At first, she dismisses, but as the crew examines human biology from an alien perspective, things start to look different. Zyra's calm voice interrupts her thoughts. "There's something off about your species, Lena. It's not what I expected." And just like that, the world as Lena knows it begins to unravel. Lena stares at the data, her mind struggling to process what she's seeing. The human genome, once familiar, now seems alien. Zyra's analysis cuts through the noise, pointing out anomalies in the structure of human DNA that Lena has never considered. "Your biology, it's erratic, unpredictable. It doesn't make sense. There's a fragility to it, but also an incredible strength. You could self-destruct at any moment, but you keep going. Lena shakes her head in disbelief. What are you talking about? We're survivors. We've built civilizations. We're imperfect. Zyra interrupts, her voice quiet but firm. And yet you thrive despite that imperfection. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. Lena is shaken. She has always been proud of humanity's ability to adapt, but to hear it described this way feels alien, almost like a condemnation. What are you suggesting? She asks, a chill creeping up her spine. Zyra's gaze is steady. Your species was designed, Lena, not by nature, but by something else, something far beyond your understanding, perhaps even something you've yet to encounter. Lena's world tilts on its axis. The very foundation of everything she thought she knew about humanity is now in question. The discovery is profound, unsettling, and full of possibilities, some too dangerous to explore. The question now is, what will Lena do with this knowledge? And can she still trust Zyra, her alien partner, when the truth threatens to shatter everything they've built together? The sterile glow of the research station's walls flickers faintly as Lena and Zyra huddle over their data terminal. The room is silent except for the soft tapping of keys and the occasional hum of equipment. Outside the window, the vast expanse of space stretches endlessly, but in this moment, it's human biology that captures their full attention. Lena scrolls through the latest data, her brow furrowed. This doesn't make sense, she mutters to herself, but Zyra hears her. Explain, Zyra prompts, her alien voice calm, yet edged with curiosity. The healing factor, it's unlike anything we've studied before. The regeneration speed of human tissue, it's almost immediate. If a human gets injured, their body starts repairing itself within seconds. Lena glances up, meeting Zyra's eyes, and the resilience humans can survive environments that should be lethal to any other species. Extreme cold, radiation, even hostile alien atmosphere. It's as though the human body is constantly adapting to survive. Zyra leans forward, her multiple sets of eyes narrowing in fascination. Incredible, she whispers, almost reverently. Every biological system is perfectly designed for resilience. How is this possible? No species we've studied exhibits such complex adaptability. The two scientists are entranced by their findings, but the more they uncover, the more they realize that these phenomena go beyond biology. Something else is at play. A force, an intelligence. Could it be that the human body was designed with such precise, deliberate care? The question lingers in the air, heavy with the promise of unknown answer. Lena watches as Zyra's tentacles extend to manipulate the holographic displays, her alien hands tracing the complex patterns in the data. Lena's mind is racing as she tries to piece together the puzzle. These systems, they're unpredictable, she says. Human biology doesn't follow any known rules. Why do humans thrive in environments where other species would perish? Extreme temperatures, pressure, toxic atmospheres. They should be dead, yet they endure. Zyra's voice is tinged with awe as she considers the anomaly. I've never encountered such unpredictability. It's as if your biology isn't bound by natural law. Are humans truly a biological fluke, or is there something we don't understand? The more they explore, the more they are drawn into the mystery of human biology. There are no clear answers, only more questions, each discovery unveiling a new layer of complexity. Lena's heart beats faster as she thinks of the implications. Could humans truly be something more than just an evolved species, something shaped by forces beyond natural evolution? The tension mounts as Lena and Zyra stand at the edge of discovery. Their journey is no longer just scientific, it's philosophical. Could humanity's survival in the galaxy be part of some greater design? A chilling possibility begins to form, but neither of them is ready to voice it aloud. Yet the seeds of doubt have been planted, and they can't ignore them. Zyra stares at the data in disbelief, the glowing charts and graphs reflecting off her four eyes. Her alien mind is trained to analyze, to find patterns, to make sense of the unknown. But what she's seeing doesn't fit any of the models she knows. There's something wrong here. Lena, Zyra says quietly, the unease evident in her voice. Lena looks up, her expression one of frustration. What do you mean? We've been through this. The anomalies are just that. Anomaly. It doesn't change the fact that humans are resilient. We survive. That's what matters. Zyra shakes her head. No, Lena, you don't understand. I've studied thousands of species, thousands of forms of life. I've never seen anything like this. The human genome, it's erratic, chaotic. These traits, this ability to endure against all odds, they can't be natural evolution. They're too perfect, too tailored. Lena feels a chill. She's used to the rigor of science, to solving problems with logic and reason. But this feels like something beyond reason. You're suggesting that humans aren't natural? Lena asks, her voice barely above a whisper. Zyra's silence hangs in the air for a long moment, and then she speaks again, her voice tight with uncertainty. What if humans are more than just another species? What if you were engine? The weight of her words sinks in, and Lena feels a knot twist in her stomach. Could it be possible? Could humans have been created? The thought seems absurd, yet part of her feels it in her gut, a truth that is too uncomfortable to ignore. The tension in the lab is palpable now. Zyra's doubts have grown into full-blown concern, and Lena, desperate to hold on to her scientific integrity, refuses to entertain the possibility that something more is at play. The divide between them is widening. You're jumping to conclusions, Zyra, Lena exclaims, pacing back and forth. You're suggesting that all of human history, our survival, our progress, was part of some grand plan, some design. That's not science, it's speculation. Zyra stands, her voice shaking with frustration. And what if it's true, Lena? What if we're not just another species in the galaxy, but part of something much larger? What if the answers are hidden in plain sight, and you're too stubborn to see them? The cultural rift deepens. Zyra, the alien who has always believed in the logic of science and order, is now questioning everything. And Lena, the human who has always relied on reason and evidence, is rejecting the idea that humanity could be anything more than a product of evolution. The clash is inevitable, and the consequences of their fractured partnership are far-reaching. The very foundation of their mission is being shaken, and soon they must face the truth that the mysteries of human biology could have implications that neither of them is prepared to handle. The discovery comes like a thunderclap, buried deep within ancient alien records, hidden from the eyes of every species in the galaxy. Lena and Zyra, exhausted from the days of research, uncover evidence that sends a shockwave through the team. Ancient alien genetic experiments on humanity. The evidence is irrefutable. Human biology was tampered with, designed to be superior, stronger, more adaptable, more resilient than any species before them. The truth is devastating. The implications are far-reaching, not just for humanity but for the entire galaxy. If humans were engineered by an ancient alien race, then they are not just survivors. They are part of a grand experiment, a project designed for reasons yet unknown. What else could these creators have planned for humanity? Lena stares at the data, her hands trembling. This changes everything. Zyra's voice is steady, but the concern in it is undeniable. This isn't just about us anymore, Lena. This is about the entire galaxy. We've discovered something that could change the balance of power, something that could threaten everything we know. The revelation hangs in the air, ominous and weighty. The journey they thought would expand the boundaries of knowledge has instead opened a door to a dangerous new reality. And the worst part, they have no idea who or what was behind it. The research station feels colder today. The sterile white walls, once a symbol of scientific progress, now feel oppressive, as though the very air is thick with tension. Lena stands in the center of the room, arms crossed, as she listens to Zyra's latest critique. You're telling me, Zyra begins, her multiple eyes narrowing in disbelief, that human biology is perfectly designed for survival, that your species has no inherent weaknesses. I've never seen such a reckless disregard for reality. Lena bristles at the accusation. We're adaptable, she snaps, her voice laced with defensiveness. We survive against all odds. She feels the weight of her words, but Zyra's skeptical gaze only makes her more frustrated. Zyra's voice softens, but her words are no less cutting. Survival at what cost, Lena? Humans have a terrifying ability to endure, but that doesn't make you invincible. Your biology, your chaos, it doesn't make sense. Lena feels the sting of those words deep inside. It isn't just a scientific critique. It's an attack on everything she knows to be true about humanity's strength. The emotions swirl inside her. Is this what the aliens think of her people? What happened to respect? The rest of the alien team watches silently, their expressions unreadable. The divide between the two species is clear now. Human pride against alien skepticism.
Lena can feel the frustration and anger building, but she doesn't have the words to counteract the growing doubts. Not just from Zyra, but from the others too. Each discovery, each strange biological anomaly, only deepens the rift. What if they're right? What if there's something darker lurking beneath humanity's survival? Lena stares at the holographic display, her fingers trembling as she scrolls through ancient alien data. Her eyes widen as she uncovers something chilling: genetic alteration. It's not just theory, there are physical markers, anomalies that suggest humanity was tampered with by a race far older and more advanced than any known species. What is that? She whispers to herself, the realization hitting her like a punch to the gut. The air in the room feels thick, suffocating. Lena calls Zyra over, her voice strained with urgency. You need to see this. Zyra leans over her shoulder, scanning the data. Her expression darkens. This isn't possible, she mutters. This data, these alterations, they point to an outside influence, an intelligence, a design. Lena's heart races. Could it be true? Were humans engineered by an ancient race of gods? Or science? She feels a chill, not from the cold of the room, but from the magnitude of what they're discovering. The truth is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. How long has this been here? Lena asks, her voice thick with disbelief. For millennia, Zyra answers, her tone. It's been hidden, waiting to be uncovered. But why? Why would something do this? The mystery grows deeper, its roots now tangled with the truth of humanity's origins. They've uncovered only a fragment of something much larger, something that could change everything. Lena's mind races as she pores over the new data, the genetic modifications that were intended to make humanity stronger, more adaptable. They come with a cost, a dark cost. There's something wrong with this, Lena says aloud, her voice shaking. The new data reveals that the modifications are more unpredictable than anticipated. They are causing unforeseen side effects, physical, mental, and genetic. Zyra stands next to her, her alien expression unreadable. What are you saying, Lena? That these changes were I'm saying these changes weren't just enhancements. Lena replies, her voice thick with realization. They were experiments, tests. We were never meant to be just a species. We were crafted, shaped for something else. And now the results are catching up with us. The ethical implications weigh heavily on Lena's heart. Was humanity's strength a blessing? Or was it a curse? Who were these beings that had the power to play God with an entire species? And what if the consequences were too great to undo? The room falls silent as Lena and Zyra both come to the same grim conclusion. There's no going back now. The future of humanity, and perhaps the galaxy itself, rests on the truth they've uncovered, and it's not a comforting thought. The calm of the research station is shattered by the first signs of panic. Lena is called to the human quarters after reports of strange illnesses spreading rapidly among the crew. The symptoms are baffling: fever, extreme fatigue, genetic instability, things no one expected, not even with the strange biology they were studying. Lena arrives to find a scene of chaos. Humans lie in beds, their bodies convulsing as their systems try to repair themselves in ways that don't make sense. The air is thick with fear, and the whispers of what's happening grow louder. Zyra approaches, her expression filled with concern. Lena, this wasn't supposed to happen. Lena shakes her head, helpless. I don't know what's going on, but these aren't normal symptoms. We have to stop this. The panic spreads quickly. Some of the humans are already talking about abandoning the station, about returning to Earth. But Lena can't bring herself to leave. She can't let the truth be buried again. She looks at the sick crew members, the fear in their eyes mirroring her own. We have to fix this, she whispers, though a sinking feeling in her chest tells her that the solution might be more complicated than she can imagine. The news spreads quickly. The alien council, once so eager to explore humanity's potential, now begins to withdraw. The ambassadors, their faces rigid with concern, sit before Lena and Zyra, their eyes filled with distrust. Your species is dangerous, one of the council members states, his voice low and tense. Human biology as it stands poses a threat to the galaxy. We can no longer support this project. The unpredictability, if left unchecked, it could endanger every other species in this sector. Lena stands frozen, the words cutting deeper than she could have imagined. You're turning your backs on us, she asks, her voice barely more than a whisper. We cannot risk the power humanity may unleash. The council member replies, the alterations made to your species are beyond our comprehension. We fear the consequence. The weight of those words hangs in the air. As the realization sinks in, humanity is no longer just another species. It's a potential weapon, and the galaxy is terrified.
Lena stands alone in the research bay, the weight of the entire situation pressing down on her. The council has withdrawn their support. The humans are in crisis, and yet she can't shake the feeling that they are on the cusp of something greater, something humanity was always meant to achieve. She looks at Zyra, the only one still willing to stand by her. What do we do now? Lena asks, her voice filled with uncertainty. Zyra looks at her alien features softening. What do you believe, Lena? Lena swallows, her thoughts racing. She could abandon everything, return to Earth, run from the truth. But something inside her refuses to accept that humanity's strength is a curse. We fight for humanity's place in the galaxy, Lena says, her voice steady now. We are not a mistake. We may not understand everything, but we will never stop adapting, never stop surviving. Humanity has a purpose here. Zyra nods, a sense of understanding passing between them. The choice is clear now. They will fight, not just for survival, but for the chance to prove humanity's worth. The war for their future is just beginning. The laboratory hums with an eerie silence, tension thick in the air. Lena stands before a holographic projection of Earth, her mind racing as the rogue faction's plan unfolds before her eyes. Across from her, Zyra, a xenobiologist from the Andari species, watches with narrowed eyes. Zyra, coldly, your species is unstable, a mistake. If we allow this chaos to spread, it will consume the galaxy. Lena, firmly, we are not a mistake. We adapt, we survive, and we build. You don't understand what you're trying to destroy. The rogue faction's ultimate plan is revealed. A bioengineered virus designed to destabilize human DNA, making survival impossible. It's a quiet genocide, one that would erase humanity before they ever realized what was happening. Lena clenches her fists. The weight of the decision presses against her chest. If she fights back, she risks war with a technologically superior force. If she stands down, humanity will be wiped out without a trace. Determination hardens in Lena's eyes. She turns away from Zyra and faces the projection of Earth. Billions of lives depend on her. Lena, we don't go down easy. She moves quickly, accessing the station's core database. The virus is still in its final stages of development, but the rogue faction will deploy it soon. Lena knows there's no time to warn Earth, no time to seek diplomatic solutions. She has one option: sabotage, gathering her allies. A small team of human and alien scientists still loyal to the mission. Lena sets the plan in motion. If the rogue faction wants to weaponize human biology, she'll turn it against them. Alarms blare through the station. Lena works furiously, rewriting the genetic sequences embedded in the virus. Instead of erasing human DNA, she programs it to trigger rapid regeneration, effectively making humans resistant to biological attacks. A door slams open. Zyra enters, flanked by security drones. Zyra, you don't know what you're doing. You could destabilize your entire genome. Lena, that's a risk I'm willing to take. With a final command, Lena initiates the sequence. The modified virus floods the lab's biochambers. The drones fire, but Lena ducks behind a console, heart pounding. Her team fights back, and in the chaos, Zyra is forced to retreat. Lena stumbles, a burning sensation coursing through her veins. The virus is rewriting her DNA faster than expected. She gasps, feeling her body change. Adapt. Scientist, Lena, you're absorbing too much exposure. We can stop it. Lena, no. We see this through. Pain surges through her limbs. She grips the console, forcing herself to stay conscious. If she loses control now, everything falls apart. The virus stabilizes, and the rogue faction's plan is officially undone. But Lena knows she's not the same anymore. Days later, Lena stands before the recovered data files, her body still adjusting to its new reality. The files confirm what she feared. Humanity was never a random occurrence. An ancient race designed them to be fragile, yet unstoppable. A test to see if they could surpass their limitation. Lena, we were never meant to survive. And yet, we did. The Andari Council watches her warily. They know humanity cannot be stopped now. Zyra steps forward, conceding with a slow nod. Zyra, perhaps we underestimated you. Lena smiles, weary but victorious. Lena, you wouldn't be the first. The battle had ended, but the scars it left behind ran deep. The rogue faction was no more, yet the victory felt hollow. Lena stood in the wreckage of the research facility, its walls scorched with the remnants of desperate conflict. Across from her, Zyra, once a staunch opponent, now an uncertain ally, watched with unreadable eyes. So this is what survival looks like. Zyra's voice was sharp, but not unkind. Lena exhaled, exhaustion pressing against her ribs. It's what survival has always looked like for us. Silence stretched between them. The weight of past betrayals loomed, a wall neither could yet climb. Zyra had once believed humanity was a ticking time bomb, a genetic anomaly too unstable to be allowed free rein in the galaxy. But now, faced with undeniable proof of their resilience, doubt crept into her resolve. You fought for your kind even when the odds were against you, Zyra finally said. Why, when so many saw you as a threat? Lena met her gaze. Because we are more than our biology. We are our choices. Zyra looked away, wrestling with the truth in Lena's words. The tension between them remained, but a fragile bridge had formed, a chance for reconciliation. If only they dared to take it. The alien High Council had convened in hushed deliberation. Where once humanity had been an anomaly to be contained, now they were a force to be reckoned with. They should have perished, one elder murmured. Their genetic instability should have ensured it, and yet they endured. Another counter, not through brute force alone, but through ingenuity, sacrifice, and unity. The debate raged on, but the conclusion was inevitable. The evidence was irrefutable. Humanity was not a mistake. They were not a threat to be eliminated, but a species to be understood, perhaps even respected. With a final unanimous decision, the Council issued a new decree. The humans would no longer be treated as an anomaly but as an ally. A new era of cooperation would begin. For the first time, the fate of humanity was no longer in alien hands. It was in their own. Lena stood on the observation deck, watching the stars stretch endlessly beyond the station's glass walls. She had fought so hard for this moment, yet the victory felt strangely quiet. She thought of the countless times humans had been told they were weak, too chaotic, too unpredictable, and yet that very chaos had been their greatest weapon. Their ability to adapt, to resist, to forge new paths when all seemed lost. That was what made them strong. We are imperfect, she murmured to herself, and that's why we survived. The realization settled deep within her, a truth more profound than any scientific breakthrough. Humanity's flaws were not their downfall. They were their foundation. The research facility had been rebuilt, not as a containment center, but as a beacon of cooperation. Lena and Zyra stood before the assembled team, human and alien alike, where suspicion once divided them. A shared purpose now united them. This is not about control, Lena addressed the group. It is about understanding, about unlocking the potential that lies within all of us. Zyra nodded, her previous skepticism now tempered with curiosity. We were afraid of what we did not understand, but now we seek to learn, not out of fear, but out of respect. The partnership was no longer driven by necessity but by choice. Humanity, once seen as an unpredictable force of nature, was now a guiding light in the vast cosmos. The journey ahead would not be easy, but for the first time, they would walk it together. Lena turned her gaze toward the star. A new chapter had begun, not just for humanity but for all who dared to believe in something greater. And so, with hope burning bright, they took their first step forward into the unknown. Lena sat on the observation deck, the distant stars casting long shadows across the polished floor. She was lost in thought when Zyra approached, her movements hesitant, but purposeful. You were right about humanity, Zyra admitted,
her voice carrying the weight of realization. I feared your kind because of your unpredictability, but now I see it is your greatest strength. Lena studied Zyra for a moment, then nodded. We adapt, we survive, but we also learn, just like you have. A silence stretched between them, but it was no longer filled with doubt, only understanding. Zyra glanced at the viewport, the endless expanse of space reflected in her eyes. Perhaps there is much we can learn from each other. Lena allowed herself a small smile. Then let's start now. Their conversation marked the beginning of something new. Not just an alliance, but a shared journey into the unknown. Lena stood alone, gazing at the vast stretch of stars before her. Each point of light represented a world, a story, a possibility. Humanity had been seen as a mistake, an anomaly in the cosmic order, but now they were a beacon of resilience. Her fingers traced the cold glass of the viewport. We were never meant to stay in one place, she murmured to herself. We were always meant to reach further. She could feel it, the shift in the galaxy. Where once there was fear, now there was curiosity. Where there had been isolation, now there was connection. Humanity, for all its chaos, had earned its place among the stars. As she turned away, a renewed sense of purpose filled her. The future was unwritten, and for the first time it belonged to them all. Lena and Zyra stood together, watching as delegates from across the galaxy convened. What had once been a project rooted in fear had transformed into something greater, an intergalactic effort for understanding. So what's next? Lena asked. Zyra folded her hands behind her back. We continue, we study, we learn. Together, the initiative was no longer about containing humanity. It was about embracing its potential. New alliances formed. New worlds opened their doors. What had started as a battle for survival had become the foundation of something greater. Lena exhaled, a slow smile forming. Then let's make history. As Lena recorded her final entry, she found herself at a loss for words. How could she explain the vast, beautiful paradox of humanity? We are unpredictable, flawed, reckless, and yet, we endure. She thought back to every moment of struggle, every hard-won victory. Humanity was not defined by perfection, but by perseverance. They were a species that defied expectations, refused limitations. Maybe there is no simple answer, she admitted. But maybe that's the answer itself. We are meant to keep searching. As she closed the log, she smiled. The story of humanity was just beginning.